When I Fall by Scarlet Emerald 32. Chapter 44.
We gotta go. Now.
Daryl and Aaron ran back over to pick up Jesus' body as Magna helped Talisa get Eugene off the ground. More of the dead walked out of the fog, and Michonne swung her blade through them easily. As she watched, Talisa saw a knife slip out of the sleeve of one.
Michonne, watch their hands.
The one she'd seen gave a yell and charged, but Yumiko took her out with an arrow before she could reach Michonne.
Come on.
Michonne charged back through the gate so he could lock it behind them.
That's not going to stop them for long.
Which is why we gotta move.
He and Aaron carried Jesus' body past them, and Michonne took Yumiko's place helping with Eugene. By the time they'd gotten back to the barn where they'd stashed the horses, it was already dawn. Daryl looked down at the skin mask he still had in his hand and sighed heavily.
Who the hell would do this? Even think about doing this?
I suspect some vessel filled with a chunky salsa of abnormal impulses and metastasized rage.
In other words, someone full-on batshit crazy.
They'd reached the doors of the barn.
You think there's more of them?
Yeah.
So what do we do?
Right now, we keep moving.
Yumiko looked over at Jesus' body.
Sounds like he was a good one.
He was, and he shouldn't have been out here.
It's my fault. If I hadn't...
Jesus made his own decisions. We all knew the risks of being out here.
Aaron turned away and urged the horse forward to catch up with Daryl and Michonne. Eugene rested his chin against Talisa's shoulder, and she leaned her head over slightly against his cheek.
I'm sorry for shouting at you. I could blame the stress of the situation, but I have no intention of being the sort of husband who finds reasons to excuse his unacceptable behavior. I should not have spoken to you like that, plain and simple.
Talisa reached her free hand up to cup his cheek.
It's okay. You were right. I didn't think... I just panicked. When you didn't come home, I had to know if you were okay. And then when I found out about Rosita, I was so scared I lost you. I didn't think I just acted. You were right. If something had happened to both of us, the boys, I'm the worst.
Stop it right now.
Eugene tightened his grip on her and turned his head, so his mouth was pressed lightly against her ear.
You are a phenomenal mother, and an extraordinary wife to boot. I understand what you did and why. I assure you there has never been a day that I am not entirely in awe that someone could have the capacity to love me as fiercely and deeply as you do, and I will never take that love for granted.
Talisa closed her eyes and leaned back against him as a tear slipped down her cheek.
I thought I lost you. I can't do this without you, Eugene.
That's entirely the point, darling. You can. And, as much as it goes against every fiber of my being to say it, we both have to face the idea that the day may come that we have to. Because it's not just about us anymore. If I lost you, I assure you I would miss you every second of every day for the rest of my life. But there are two perfect, beautiful little boys whose raising would be my sole responsibility, and they would need me to keep on keeping on. So I would. And I know you would too.
I would, but I'd really like to not have to make that choice if at all possible. So could we maybe just agree to stick closer to home for the foreseeable future?
Agreed.
He leaned down, most likely intending to kiss her cheek, but she turned her head and gave him a long, slow kiss.
I love you, haircut.
And to that I say a resounding ditto.
Daryl's dog barked, and they all looked up. He held a hand up for them to stop and then looked to their left into the woods.
We've got some tails.
Living kind or original recipe?
Let's find out.
They continued down the main road, walking parallel with the dead, until they came to a side road with a covered bridge. The walkers were shuffling down the bridge towards them, so Daryl and Michonne jogged down to meet them. Daryl shot the first walker in the leg with an arrow, and it continued to shuffle slowly towards them. When he shot the second, he screamed and buckled, holding his leg. The dead around him converged immediately and began tearing him apart. A third man turned and tried to run, and Michonne stabbed him quickly through the back. A fourth, smaller person raised her hands quickly and fell to her knees.
Please, please don't kill me.
Michonne ripped the mask off to reveal a teenage girl. She brought her katana to the girl's throat and she closed her eyes, trembling in fear.
How many?
Please, you killed them all. It's just me.
I don't believe you.
Michonne pressed the sword harder against her throat.
There ain't no time. We'll take her with us.
Michonne looked up at him in surprise and shock, but then rolled her eyes in annoyance.
Get up.
She hauled the girl to her feet and grabbed her mask off the ground, holding it up to her face.
You try anything? You won't have to pretend.
The girl nodded quickly, still trembling with fear as they drug her back down the bridge.
We need the horse.
Yumiko and Magna hopped down as Daryl yanked off his belt. He pulled the girl's hands together and used his belt to secure them, then ripped off the bottom edge of her shirt and blindfolded her with it. He picked her up, and she gave a strangled scream of fear, but he simply dropped her in the saddle and put her hands on the pommel.
Hold on.
She obliged as he grabbed the reins, and they took off down the road again at a jog. It took them another 2 hours to get back to Hilltop, and as the gates opened, Talisa's heart dropped again.
Siddiq?
She saw him standing inside the gate. She handed the reins to Eugene and jumped off the horse, running to him.
They're fine. I left them sitting on Laura's couch watching Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. When we heard what happened, Gabriel figured I needed to get here ASAP.
Talisa nodded slowly and let out the breath she'd been holding in.
Okay, I need you to help me get Eugene to the infirmary. He's got a dislocated knee.
Gotcha.
Siddiq jogged over to where Eugene was still on the horse.
Hey, Eugene, let's get you fixed up.
Behind them, someone began to wail. They turned to see Tara and Enid holding each other and crying as the members of Hilltop saw Jesus' body draped across the horse.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, let's get Eugene in the infirmary and I'll fill you in.
Siddiq twisted quickly and Eugene's knee popped back into place with a snap as he gasped and squeezed both Talisa and Rosita's hands where they sat on either side of him.
And it's in. See? Not so bad.
This says you.
Eugene laid back against the pillow.
Apologies for the plethora of colorful language and attempted physical assault, involuntary pain responses, and whatnot.
It's all right.
Siddiq caught Talisa's and Rosita's eyes and they both suppressed their laughter.
I'm gonna go grab you a bandage. A few weeks of moderate compression and you'll be good as new. You both will.
He patted Rosita on the shoulder as he walked past the divider by the bed.
I'm going to go get you some more water.
Rosita made to stand, but Talisa caught her hand and stopped her.
Ro, thank you.
What the hell are you thanking me for? I left him.
She looked back up at Eugene with tears in her eyes.
I'm so sorry.
Hey now.
Eugene pushed himself up on his elbow and reached for her other hand.
You have not one earthly thing for which to apologize, Rosita Espinosa. I am alive and breathing right now because of you. You could have easily left me at any point during that harrowing pursuit, and I in fact begged you to do so at several junctures. Yet, you refused to leave my side until you could ensure me some modicum of protection. And then you pressed on to the point of physical exhaustion in the hopes of securing me rescue.
He's right, Hermana. You were a superstar out there, and you saved his life. Don't sell yourself short.
Talisa gave Rosita's hand a squeeze. Rosita's face paled, and she clamped a hand over her mouth and ran for the side door. Talisa looked in confusion and concern from where she'd just run out, to Siddiq, who quickly moved to follow her. From the open window next to Eugene's bed, they could both clearly hear Rosita's vomiting and the conversation that followed it.
You okay?
I'm fine.
All right. Well, come inside. I'll run some tests.
Really, I'm fine.
Your body's been through a lot lately. You should...
It's not that.
Okay, so what is it?
You know that night we had a few months ago, after Talisa's party?
Talisa perked up and her gaze shot back to Eugene, who looked just as surprised as she did, and shook his head quickly in answer to her silent question. They heard Rosita sigh deeply before she spoke again.
I'm pregnant.
Talisa clapped both her hands over her mouth to stifle her gasp and looked back over at Eugene.
Holy shit. Holy shit.
To put it mildly.
They heard the door open a second later, and Rosita walked back behind the divider carrying a glass of water. She stopped when she saw them staring at her, and her gaze slowly shifted to the open window next to them. Her shoulders slumped as she sighed.
God damn it.
She handed Eugene the water and sat down again. She leaned her elbows on the bed and pressed her face into her hands.
How much did you hear?
Talisa looked hesitantly from her to Eugene and back.
So all of it.
Yes.
She groaned, flopping her head down on the bed.
So it, happened after my birthday party?
Yes. And I partially blame you, by the way. Unlimited margaritas and karaoke are basically an invitation for bad decisions.
Hey, just because Siddiq decided to jump on a table and sing Pony by Genuine didn't mean you had to take it as an invitation.
Rosita grabbed the pillow from the foot of Eugene's bed and attempted to smack her with it as Eugene chuckled.
Oh my god. I can't believe this is actually happening.
I take it that since Siddiq has just now been made aware of his impending fatherhood, you have not yet informed Gabriel of your potential Maury Povich scenario?
Rosita glared up at him.
I'm fully aware of who the father is, asshole.
She smacked his good leg.
But no, Gabriel doesn't know yet.
I have to say, that is the textbook definition of your classic pickle.
Way to state the obvious.
Rosita leaned back in her chair, staring at the ceiling.
Well, I know it doesn't help you uncomplicate your situation at all, but you want to hear one small piece of news that might cheer you up and make this whole process a little more fun?
Eugene raised an eyebrow at her.
You sure?
Why not? Considering you screamed it in Aaron's face last night, the cat's officially out of the bag.
What are you talking about?
Well, you weren't the only one who got a little less careful than usual after my birthday party. Guess you and I are doing this together this time.
What?
Rosita sat up straighter and looked at them both, her eyes filled with tears again.
Please tell me you're serious, because I'm way too emotional for you to be screwing with me right now.
We are entirely serious.
Oh my god, you're right! Even though that doesn't change anything, it also makes it so much better. Our kids are going to get to grow up together.
Are you kidding? My husband's best friend is having a baby with my best friend. I know you guys aren't together, but still, these babies are either going to be BFFs or soulmates. Either way, they're stuck with each other.
Just like we are.
Eugene reached out a hand which Rosita took with a smile and squeezed. The door behind them opened again, and Michonne and Siddiq walked back in. Rosita dropped Eugene's hand and quickly wiped the tears from her cheeks.
Hey, how you doing?
The offending articulation is back in its original position, and Siddiq here has assured me that with a few weeks' rest, I should be altogether 5 by 5.
That's right.
Siddiq carefully lifted his leg so he could begin to wrap it tightly with an ace bandage.
So I tried to talk with the girl. She's not saying much. I sent Daryl down there to see what he could get out of her, but I'm not hopeful. I told him to do what he had to do.
Whoa. Isn't Henry still down there? Do you really think he should be seeing that?
Henry? As in Carol and Ezekiel's Henry?
Yeah, he came here to apprentice with Earl. Wants to be the new blacksmith in the kingdom, so Carol brought him. Only here one night, and he got in trouble with some of the teens and got himself thrown in a drunk tank.
A drunk tank? Henry?
Yeah, he's growing up fast.
So how long until he's good to travel? I want to get home, and I'm guessing they do too.
You'd be correct in that assumption.
Can you hold off until morning? I'd like him to get some rest before he travels again.
Okay, first thing in the morning. You guys get some rest, and I'll see you then.
She walked out of the trailer and Siddiq turned back to them.
I'm gonna get you some crutches, Eugene. You're gonna need to stay off that knee for at least a week, and then take it easy for a couple more after that.
Understood.
And I'm going to give you some muscle relaxers for tonight. Nothing too strong, just enough to get you comfortable and let you get some quality sleep under your belt before we travel in the morning. Once we're home, as long as you stay off your feet, you should be able to make do with over-the-counter pain meds.
Sounds fine by me.
Eugene reached out, taking the crutches Siddiq offered him.
Let's go find a place to crash. What do you say?
I say that sounds just about perfect.
You know, Eugene, it occurs to me that we've told enough people about our newest addition now that we may not need to make a formal announcement.
Talisa finished patting her hair dry and walked out of the bathroom back into the bedroom they were occupying in the main house.
It might just make its way through the rumor.
She stopped talking and smiled. Eugene was lying on the bed with his leg propped on a pillow. His head had fallen back against the headboard, and he was fast asleep, snoring slightly. She walked over and gently brushed the hair back from his forehead as she watched him sleep. He stirred slightly and looked up at her.
What? I'm entirely awake. What was it you were saying?
You are entirely not awake. Haircut.
She smiled as she leaned down to kiss him.
Those pills Siddiq gave you are really kicking in, huh?
Well, I admit the call of elusive Z's has been amplifying exponentially since I consumed them a few minutes ago, but I am more than willing to resist the urge to slip into an unconscious state in the interest of spending some quality one-on-one time with my lady love.
Talisa smiled again as she tilted his head up and kissed him again, slowly and deliberately. He wrapped his arms around her, no doubt intending to pull her down onto the bed beside him, but she reached up and broke his grasp, stepping back.
Sleep, love. You need it, and we're going to have another long day tomorrow. I'll be back in a little while to curl up beside you, I promise.
He kissed the back of her hand.
I'll be holding you to that.
She helped him get comfortable in the bed and gave him one more kiss before heading for the door. She heard his first snores before she even got it closed and smiled slightly to herself. She walked out onto the landing and saw Aaron sitting on the couch in the communal living room area. He had something clutched in his hands, and as she walked closer, she realized what it was. It was Jesus's beanie, the one he'd been wearing the first time they'd ever met him. Talisa walked over and sat down beside him, putting a hand on his shoulder.
I'm so sorry.
He didn't answer for a long moment. He simply stared down at the hat, as if he wasn't really seeing it. Right when she thought he probably wasn't going to say anything, he spoke.
You'd think that it wouldn't hit me as hard. I mean, we weren't even together. I never even told him.
It doesn't matter how long it was. When you love someone, you love them. It doesn't matter if it was 2 days or 2 decades. And he knew. I could see that.
Aaron nodded and leaned forward, putting his face in his hands. Talisa moved her hand to his back and rubbed it gently.
Is there anything I can do for you?
No, I just need to go home and hug my little girl.
Yeah, believe me, I totally get that.
They heard someone on the stairs and both turned to see Tara standing at the top.
Oh, my bad, I can come back later.
No, you're good, Tara. I was going to head to bed anyway.
Aaron stood up and wiped at his face as he took a deep breath. He looked back down at Talisa.
See you in the morning?
Of course.
She gave his hand one more squeeze. He smiled down at her sadly, and then turned to walk down the stairs and out towards the trailers.
He okay?
Tara walked over to take up his spot on the couch.
Not really. He's pretty broken up. He and Jesus were, well, I don't think they were officially anything yet, but they were headed that way.
Oh shit. How did I never put that together? Of course they were, damn.
Don't be too hard on yourself. I only picked up on it about 2 months ago, and I wasn't trying to lead an entire community.
Tara sighed and ran her hands through her hair.
Yeah. About that.
For what it's worth, I think Hilltop couldn't have asked for anyone better to fill Jesus' shoes.
Thanks. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'll be damned if I let this place go under.
Well, as long as I've known you, I have yet to see you not be a rock star at anything you put your mind to, so I can't imagine you're going to start now. Anybody threatens Hilltop, they aren't going to know what hit them.
Tara looked over at her with a slightly watery smile and shook her head.
Damn, I've missed you, bitch.
She leaned her shoulder against Talisa's.
Missed you too, asshole.
They both leaned back on the couch with their heads together.
So how's Teddy?
Huge. He's gonna be 6 in a few months, and you'll be happy to hear he's a little daredevil who's already giving both Eugene and I gray hair.
That's my boy. Heard you've got a second one now, too.
Yep, Lincoln. Well, we'll put it this way. He's got much more of Eugene's temperament. Thank the Lord.
Tara laughed again.
2 kids, man, that's crazy. I was still getting used to the idea of you guys being parents in my head.
2.5 if you want to be technical about it.
Talisa shot a look over at Tara. Tara looked back and raised an eyebrow.
You're kidding.
Nope. Swear to God, coming early next year to a Porter household near you.
Wow, 3 kids in 6 years. You really gotta tell Eugene to keep it in his pants.
Oh my God, Tara.
Talisa gave her a hard shove in the shoulder and she laughed again.
You know you should really be rooting for at least one more, actually. Because we have yet to use any of the girl names we've picked out, and Rosita is getting top billing over you.
What? Oh, that's not fair. I call bullshit.
What do you mean that's not fair? Rosita is the person left in this world who's known Eugene the longest by far, and she's literally saved his life dozens of times, one of which just happened 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know. I'm just screwing with you. I'm kind of surprised I even get representation with your kids at all, to be honest.
Tara, you're literally one of my best friends, Eugene's too. I hate how long it's been since we've seen you. You were supposed to be one of the ones that was always there.
I know. I hate it too. And I'm sorry it worked out like that. I just couldn't...
Hey, it's not on you. We all made choices. I wish things could be different, but sometimes you don't get what you want.
Yeah, sometimes you don't.
They sat there together quietly for a few minutes, heads resting against each other.
So, what are the names, the girls' names you picked?
Cecily Rose, in honor of Rosita.
That's pretty.
And Cordelia Tara for you.
Tara sat up and looked down at her pointedly.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Talisa, that is an awful name.
What? No, it's not.
Cordelia Tara? That's like 1,000,000 syllables long, and it sounds like someone is yelling at you in Italian or something.
Oh my gosh, shut up. You're just mad that we picked Rosita's first.
No, I'm not. I'm dead serious. In fact, now I'm hoping you don't have any more kids so no one has to get stuck with that name.
You know what?
Talisa grabbed one of the pillows off of the couch and began smacking Tara with it as she laughed and tried to push her off. The next morning, Talisa walked alongside Eugene out to the wagon that Michonne had ready for the trip home. She saw Aaron and Michonne already there.
You want to ride in the back, Eugene? You'll probably be more comfortable, and we can prop your leg up with some of the bags of flour.
I'm amenable to the proposition.
He handed his crutches to Talisa as Aaron helped him hop into the bed of the wagon and got him settled.
Guessing you're going to ride back here with him?
You got it. I'll be there in just a second.
She'd just seen Daryl walking up from the other side, and she went to meet him.
Hey, you. You sticking around here?
Yeah, for now. Still trying to figure out what's going on with the kid. She's scared, but she doesn't seem too bad. Just mixed up in the wrong stuff.
Well, if anyone can sort her out, it's probably you. Thanks again for helping us find Eugene. We never could have done it without you. I guess I owe you more than I could ever pay back. Again.
You don't owe me anything. We take care of each other. All of us. It's what we do.
It's what we do for family.
Damn straight.
Daryl wrapped an arm around her to give her a quick hug.
Now you get home and take care of your boys.
Will do. And you stop by sometime soon, okay? Teddy's gonna be needing someone to teach him how to shoot a crossbow here soon.
Yeah, I will.
It took them almost 6 hours to get back to Alexandria, and when they pulled up to the gates, they saw Gabriel in the guard tower. He motioned down and then ran down to meet them as the wagon pulled in. Rosita jumped out of the wagon into his arms and kissed him fiercely. Talisa shot a look over at Siddiq, but he was pointedly looking in the other direction.
Mommy!
RJ came running down the road, and Michonne scooped him up immediately, holding him close. Talisa saw the tension leaving her as she tucked her head against her son's shoulder.
Hey, baby.
Talisa hopped out of the wagon and helped Eugene down beside her, handing him his crutches and helping him balance.
Mommy! Daddy!
She turned quickly to see Teddy running up the sidewalk with Laura right behind him, carrying Lincoln on her hip. Teddy launched himself into her arms and she picked him up, hugging him tightly.
Hey, buddy. I missed you.
Why'd you take so long?
Teddy leaned back to look at her and then saw the wrap on Eugene's leg and the crutches.
Daddy, what happened to your leg?
Just tweaked my knee, little man. Uncle Siddiq says I gotta rest up for a few weeks, but then I should be A-okay.
Monsters hurt you, Daddy?
Lincoln's little brow furrowed in concern as Laura reached them and transferred Lincoln into Eugene's outstretched arms.
Nobody. The monsters didn't get me. But I hurt my knee running away from them. Thankfully, I was with Tia Row, and she helped me hide till they went away and Mommy could come find me.
You helped save Daddy, Roro?
Teddy looked over Eugene's shoulder to where Rosita was standing. She smiled and walked over to him.
You bet I did, mister.
She picked him up and hugged him.
You think I'd let those monsters get your dad?
No.
Hell no.
Rosita tickled his stomach, making him laugh, and Talisa shot a look over at Laura.
Hey, thanks for everything. We owe you big time.
Please, I was happy to help. You know how much I love those little guys. And they were perfect little angels the whole time.
Guess there's a first time for everything.
Laura laughed appreciatively.
Glad to see you all back safely.
Gabriel walked up to the group, slipping an arm around Rosita.
Glad to be back. Anything new to report?
Gabriel looked over at her hesitantly and then at the others.
Gabriel, what is it?
When the news came in from Hilltop about Rosita, things got rather chaotic briefly. I had been down talking with Negan at the time, and I didn't properly secure the door when I left.
Are you saying he got out? Was anyone hurt?
No, everyone is fine. He didn't even speak to anyone. He just left.
He left? As in he's gone? Back out there in the world at large?
Yes.
Michonne stared at him, obviously at a loss for what to even say, then turned on her heel and walked away towards her own home without a second glance.
Who else knew about this?
Michonne was looking down at the ham radio on Gabriel's desk. The rest of the council, with the exception of Eugene, who'd opted to stay home with the boys, due both to his need to stay off his leg and his desire to spend more time with them, were crowded into the room watching her.
Just Eugene and Rosita.
And me.
Talisa gave Gabriel an apologetic shrug.
I figured as much, but I wasn't certain. I wouldn't have expected him to keep it from you.
He turned back to Michonne.
We would have told you if we'd found someone out there, but we didn't.
But who knows who else was listening?
We weren't being careless with it.
Rosita and Eugene went out to set up this relay and almost died because of it. Jesus did die because of it. Negan got out while you were distracted because of it. I can't do my job if the council is keeping things from me.
We gave you the power to veto the council based on security concerns, but now everything is a security concern, so our votes don't matter anymore unless you agree with them.
Putting ourselves out there when we don't have to is dangerous.
So is cutting us off from the rest of the world. Who are we supposed to turn to when we need help? We can't be so worried about finding enemies that we lose friends.
We did lose a friend. Look, we all set out with the best of intentions, but that doesn't change what happened. There's a new enemy out there, and they're exactly what Michonne was afraid we'd find.
Aaron stopped and took a deep breath.
I don't regret the time I spent out there with Jesus. I don't. And what happened? Maybe it would have happened anyway, but now we know what's out there and we can't pretend otherwise. We put Michonne in charge of security for a reason. Her judgment has saved us time and time again.
Yes, but at what cost? I saw Carol at Hilltop. She told me that she tried asking Michonne for help with the fair again, and she said you turned her down.
You spoke on behalf of our whole community without consulting us?
The question of the trade fair is old business.
Yes, but we have new information. Look, the fair starts the day after tomorrow, and it's not too late to reconsider. Carol says that the situation at the kingdom is a lot worse than Ezekiel said in his letter. They're too isolated, and they need the trade that this fair will bring.
The kingdom will take care of itself. They always have.
Carol wouldn't ask for help a second time if it wasn't serious. You know that, Michonne.
I motion the council take a second vote on the kingdom's fair.
To what end? She'd just veto it.
You're right, I would. The roads leading there are broken and dangerous, and there is a group dressed as the dead trying to kill us.
Michonne sighed and shook her head.
Look, I wish we could help them too, and we could vote to open our doors to our friends just like we did with the people from the sanctuary. I could get behind that. But Carol made it clear in her letter that Ezekiel isn't ready to give up the kingdom, and I'm not ready to risk Alexandrian lives over this.
Siddiq stepped forward and put a hand on her arm.
I know you just want what's best for us, but what does it mean for Alexandria to survive if it means that the kingdom falls?
Michonne looked up at him.
It means that Alexandria survives.
When I Fall is a work of fiction based on AMC's The Walking Dead. Any characters not created by the author are the property of said company. The story will continue in the next chapter.